Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of the Firestarter Podcast. I am Dave Crypto, and I am talking to Jim Woodland today. And we are on fire on a new project, a new film project, and a GoFundMe fundraising campaign. Jim, how are you today, my friend?
Great, Dave. Great. It's good to be talking to you about this campaign.
Yeah. Yes, it certainly is. It's fun. This is a work in progress, and we're podcasting our progress in order to build the momentum and get the word out to people that want to take part in this exciting project and help us make this film production a reality. So in the age of social media and multimedia, we are going to be broadcasting on YouTube and podcasting as well too. So as we move forward, more and more people are going to hear about the project and learn about how they can take part. That's the concept. That's the idea. And so I'm really grateful to be a part of this. I think I'm excited. How are you feeling? Are you excited?
Well, we got the script is all done. There'll be minor revisions on that. We've got production people lined up, just waiting for the funds. So right now we're in the development stage.
Okay.
And we're just procuring the funds. And one of those ways is with the GoFundMe campaign.
Yeah, terrific. Okay, well, that's cool. Because you sent me the pitch deck for it. I took a look at that. And I understand the concept of the film. And we've been talking, I guess, for a week. Well, we've been talking for a while. This is an ongoing project, but only really in the last week have we really started to focus in and figure out, okay, what do we need to do to actually get this thing, get the ball rolling on it, right? So, with that in mind, what we talked about this morning was what? The hook, right?
The hook.
Hooking the audience, getting their attention. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Why should you, as someone who goes to this GoFundMe page, give a damn?
Exactly.
Why should you care that Jim and Dave want to make a movie?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone.
Well, the short answer is, I feel, in all honesty, that I've got a product that you would go down to the theater and you would want to see, as opposed to
Yes.
it's a horror movie. As opposed to it's just a horror movie. Okay, let's see what the reviews are on it. Let's see what IMDb says. Let's get a
this is a challenge. It hasn't been made. It's in progress. So promoting something that hasn't been made, that's the challenge, because they can't see a review. They can't. I mean, we don't have a trailer yet. We have.
What I mean is, at the end of the day, when it's done, I want you to go and see this movie.
Bloody right. Okay. So hook me. Let's try this. Let's try this live right now on the podcast. You got to hook me.
Okay.
Just give me a left. Give me a right. Hook me.
Okay. Imagine you punched a hole in the wall, right?
Uh-huh.
And wondering what was on the other side. And what was on the other side just grabbed you and took you there. And then closed the hole.
That's weird, man.
And then then your friends are going, Reg is gone through this hole that he created.
Okay.
How are we going to get him back?
So that is take one. That's take one, and cut.
I'm probably rambling, right?
Let me give you some feedback. I'll just give you a quick feedback. You didn't hook me. You didn't hook me.
Okay.
Because it was too conceptual. Like, it was too, like, okay, imagine you punch a hole in the wall. First of all, that's like weird because I'm like immediately you're trying to get me to imagine. Like I'm like, why would I punch a hole in the wall? So that's the first thought that came up. It's like, why would I punch a hole in the wall? And then you're like, and then you open up a hole, and then something came out and grabbed you, and I'm like, okay, that's just, now you have two weird things that I can't necessarily relate to right away.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's got to be relatable. That's the first thing about a hook. A hook is like your opening line that the other person should understand right away. It's just in very simple language. So at a party, in a conversation, just chatting with a friend or a coworker, you should be able to lay a hook on them, and they're going to get it, and they're going to know, oh, so what's the offer? So the example I talked about this morning was with Elon Musk. His hook,
and PayPal.
What's that?
And PayPal.
And PayPal, exactly. Elon Musk, when they were starting PayPal, he told the story of how he got the initial funding. And he had 3 potential projects that he was pitching the funders, the venture capitalists. And he laid this one on, that one on, and then the hook or the pitch for PayPal went like this. How about if we built a way to send money by email? And the guy said, that sounds good. That sounds interesting. You have my ear. Because the guy understood email, even way back then in 2000. I mean, email was already a thing. And he understood money. I mean, he was a money guy. So he thought, wow, okay, money plus email, that's got big potential. That's really broad. It's right? Okay, so that's kind of what we want to get at. We want to get at something that we can just say really simple, that everyone understands, and that is going to get them on board. So, do you get what I mean by that?
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Okay, so that's what our pitch has got to be. That's what our hook. So we got to figure out, okay, what's the core thing in this movie? What's the juice? Like, what is it that you want these guys to get excited about seeing? That's what
this thing. Okay, the only thing I can think of is seeing this thing.
Like, what's the movie about? The movie is about an entity.
This thing, it's about. Yeah, the movie is about this.
Like a demon that lives in a wall or something.
Yeah, well, it doesn't live in the wall. It lives in an alternate dimension, right?
Okay.
It's just that it was attracted to this wall. Okay. Because and we'll just discuss this. It was attracted to this wall
typically
because
an entity will attach itself to a location because perhaps it lived in that location. I mean, this is the ghost idea, right? Like, maybe it used to live in that house.
Yeah, but in the script, right? The entity was attracted to this place because in the beginning you had this woman with strong psychic powers.
Okay. So he's kind of horny or something.
Who was attracted by this energy, right? Just like a magnet. All right? Now,
so just slow down. Is this, what is this? This is a movie about a demon or an entity or a ghost or a... Like, we got to really simplify it.
It's a movie about an entity that...
Like a demonic entity. Sounds maybe.
Well, not so much a demonic energy as something that feeds on the psychic energy of people.
All right.
So
you see how that's really like. But anyway, we got to come up with a hook for this, right? Like, and what okay, let's just get into like broader, like we're both movie makers, we both like movies, you write movies,
hold on. Yeah. Here, hold on. I just want to very quickly do this.
Okay,
because at the very beginning, the very few seconds of the
opening shot of the movie, the first scene.
No. Oh shit.
Okay, well, just tell me what your thoughts are. Like,
but anyways,
yeah.
at the beginning, we have our main character, who is a woman, who is a female psychic, right?
Yes.
Saying there is a wall between us and somewhere else.
Okay. What I'm looking for here, Jim, I know the.
No, I know.
Like,
I know.
I want something simple.
Let
me just lay this on you. People get excited. You want to hook them with something like this. We want to make a movie about a woman that gets possessed by a demonic force. What do you think of that? So it's a possession movie, right? But that's the core concept, okay? Because
okay, great.
And why is that exciting? I mean, you can understand that, right? Like because when you're pitching, okay, we want to make a movie about a woman that gets obsessed or it gets possessed. It could be like maybe she's a college student. That makes it a little more, context. A college student, a female college student that gets possessed by a demonic entity. So already that's pretty long, but it's understandable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you interested in that? If I said that, listen, Jim, I want to make a movie about a college girl that gets possessed by a demonic entity. What do you think?
Is she a lesbian?
See, already I got you because now you're asking questions. You want to know more. I kind of hooked you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
no. I understand what you're saying.
And then already it's like, okay, well, get me into the story. Tell me more. And you said, is she a lesbian? Okay, this is your first criteria. She's got to be gay.
Well, no, she does. Of course, she doesn't. One of the things
I know.
that I wanted to get away from, right?
Yeah.
Was what we were describing before. All this wokeness.
Yeah. No woke. We won't go woke and we won't go broke. We'll just keep it.
Yeah.
We'll keep it fun. But this is my point. This is why I wanted to talk about the hook, because.
Okay, here's your hook.
All right, give me it.
Here's your hook.
Hook me.
A homicidal being I'm going to make a movie about a homicidal being from another dimension using a black hole as a portal to eliminate the human race.
That's getting good. I like the eliminate the human race. Because hang on, there's conflict there. That's a story. That's a conflict. Demon versus human race. That's a fucking big movie, right?
And it's not just a demon.
It might be
it's
too
a
big.
Homicidal demon.
Because that's like an apocalyptic movie. Well, yes, homicidal if you're going to kill yes. Yeah, but I like that. That's good. Why? Because it has conflict in it. Right? It's demon versus humanity.
Yeah, now let me...
But that's not what this movie is
just
about,
quickly.
though. I like it, though, yes.
Yeah, it is. Here, this is what this movie is about. Let me tell you what this movie is about.
Okay, in one sentence.
This movie, in one sentence.
Yes.
This movie is about a homicidal being from another dimension using a black hole as a portal to eliminate the human race, unless stopped by a traumatized psychic.
Okay, so the I want to kill all humanity is the motivation. It's like the total antichrist. Unless so now you have this character of the psychic woman. Is it the woman?
Not just any psychic, but a traumatized.
Okay, a traumatized psychic. Now you have so it's traumatized psychic versus demonic entity.
Homicidal being. Yeah.
Yeah. Or entity. So that's the essence of the story, is this conflict.
There you go. There's your hook. Traumatized psychic versus homicidal being.
Yeah. So we're making progress. Now we're getting somewhere. It has to be very, very simple. But you got to make it like even simpler. The simpler, the better. You don't have to give away the whole movie plot either. Because
no, I know.
Yeah. When you're just trying to
I don't know. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I don't see how much simpler we can make that.
Well, you can make it
traumatized psychic versus homicidal being.
I'll tell you how you can make it simpler. It's you hook them into just the beginning of the story or the first scene or a part of the story, right? A 90-minute movie has a big plot, and then it has a few subplots and side stories. So you can just say, okay, well, opening scene. Let's get them hooked on the opening scene. And in the opening scene, the opening scene is a hook too, right? It's you got to get their interest to carry it through the whole movie. But the opening scene could be a conflict where this traumatized psychic is walking down the street, and then she gets kidnapped.
Yeah. The script is already written. Okay. Let me tell you what the opening scene is.
Okay, what's the opening scene?
We're at this neighborhood where nobody lives and all the houses are condemned.
Okay.
Right? Now just go with me on this.
Okay.
Because it may sound like I'm spending 10 minutes describing something, but I don't mean
just
to do
give
that.
me the essence of the first scene. What's the main action that happens and the main conflict?
Okay. We are told that there is a wall between our world and another world.
Okay, and so what's the psychic girl doing?
She's not doing anything. She's talking. We'll see her later.
So she's narrating.
We're not introduced to her.
She's narrating.
She's narrating. We hear at the beginning, we hear this voice. We don't know who this person is, right? It's just a voice telling us that there is a wall between our world and the other world.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
As with any wall.
And what do you see? What do you see in this opening scene? Like, what's the image? What's the shot?
We go from the outside of our haunted house, right, to the inside. So it's point of view. Okay. We go to the house. We go to the back. We go down in the basement through one of the boards. The house is boarded up, but so there's a loose board.
Shot, no people in it, just maybe approaching a house, creepy looking house, and then and then you're going up the stairs, and you're like, windows are all dark. Maybe it's dusk or midnight or dark. We don't know. I don't know. And then you're actually going to be going in like the front door or a window or something. Like we're doing a tour. This is the introduction to the house. The house.
Yes. And we go, we're in the basement, then we go upstairs, we're in the kitchen, we're in the hallway. As we do this, right?
Yeah.
We are told there is a a wall. We're told about this wall, and we're told that with any wall, there are weak spots.
Yeah.
There are weak spots
Sure.
where the plaster is not
Like this
so
is an
thick.
old rundown house, right?
Yeah,
And
it's an abandoned house.
So it's an abandoned house. Okay, and there's weak spots and there's stuff dripping from the ceiling,
Yeah.
and there's
Where street people crash when they don't want to live, out in the open.
So we might see the remains of street people living there, or there might even be a street person there, or I don't know.
There's no street person there, but we do see, yes, you're right. We see garbage, we see clothes, maybe we see a mattress, all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
But then we go into this room.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
and then what happens? What's the bang? How do we end the scene? I mean, I get the scene. You laid it out, narrating. You're introducing the theme. Otherworldly dimension, hole in the wall, that kind of thing. But what happens? Like, is there any action, or how does it conclude?
Yeah. Okay. We when the narrator says sometimes there's a crack.
Yes.
In this wall.
And we'll see a crack, I assume?
Yeah, we'll see a hole form.
Okay.
We come out, we're on this wall.
Uh-huh.
We go into this wall.
Uh-huh.
We don't know what it is, but we zoom out from the wall.
So first we're zooming in, we see a crack, and then we're zooming out from the crack.
No.
Because you just said we're zooming out.
I know. We're going through the house. Let me. I'm sorry. Let me.
I mean, the movie is the hole in the wall. So I mean, are we looking at the hole in the wall?
Yeah, we are.
All right.
Let me.
I guess I'm just looking for what's the payload on this.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to put myself in there, and then I pop up, and I say, "Hey, what's going on? You guys looking for a place to live?"
Well, because I don't have the script in front of me, right? I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but
I mean, I get what you're
doing. Okay. Let's just we talk about the wall. We talk about the fact that sometimes holes get punched into this wall.
Oh.
Then we see the wall. We see the wall.
Yes.
It's got a red pentagram on it.
Oh, okay.
With numbers, with satanic numbers and all this kind of stuff.
All right. So some evidence of ritual, conducting rituals or something.
Yes. Then we see the one-armed witch, Rita.
Oh. Okay.
Enter
the one-armed witch, Rita. Now, wait a minute. Is she the psychic, the traumatized psychic?
No.
Okay.
No.
So enter the one-armed witch, Rita. And what is she doing there?
She's trying to call up Satan.
Oh, so she is actually conducting a ritual.
Yep. And she's using her... we will learn later that what she's doing is using her psychic powers to try and call up Satan.
All right,
she doesn't realize she's a psychic. But anyways, that's later. That's explained later. Right now.
So this is kind of a witch ritual movie. This is okay.
No, not really. But she creates this hole.
Oh, so
a crack. A hole. Yes, the crack appears in the wall. Then it gets bigger and bigger.
So as she's conducting this ritual, she's opening this crack in the wall.
Yep. And then inside this crack, way in the distance, we see something. And it's getting closer and closer.
Yeah. Okay. And that's the opening scene. Cut.
And well, she it has her eyes closed because she's concentrating, right?
Yeah.
But then this thing, something inside that we really can't make out,
Okay.
gets to the hole, and
Right.
she
Whose
opens her
business?
eyes. She opens her eyes,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
And then the camera
Uh-huh.
goes out of the room, slowly goes out of the room, right? As we hear her,
Pulls out. You don't see her. Or...
yeah, you don't see her. It's like it it it
So
it
that's a
moves to
side
the door.
pan. The camera.
Yeah, yeah. And we go to the room and we start to leave the room. Okay? The
Yeah.
camera on the POV leaves the room.
And then what?
But
And then you
we
hear screaming in the background.
you hear a scuffle,
Yeah.
you hear screaming,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And then we go through the house.
So
Now,
just stop. I need to understand what that scene is. So was she was conducting this ritual, and then an entity appeared or came, couldn't know what it was. And then the camera is basically zooming out, or not zooming out, panning out, leaving, so you can't see what's going on, but you can hear something. And then
but you can hear it.
scuffling.
Yeah.
I don't know, cries or some kind of panic.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's like, "Oh, what's happening? What is this?"
We get a very clear indication of whatever was in that hole attacking her. It's that simple.
Okay.
It's
And
attacking.
then, so it's an attack. Is it a possession though? Does she become possessed or?
Well, we'll learn all this later. But later on, we learn that she escaped.
So she escaped. But obviously there's now a connection between her, the wall, and this entity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we go outside the house, right?
Yep.
And I must apologize for that first scene. When we first come up from black in the film, we come up from black. The very first thing we see is that wall.
Oh, so first
right?
you're inside and you're outside.
No. We're not. I made a mistake. We're not outside coming in. We're not doing that. We start on the wall. We come out from the wall. It's a pentagram. Okay. We come out from the wall more. Oh, it's a one-armed woman dressed as a witch, doing an incantation, trying to summon Satan.
Yeah.
Right?
So you just give it all to them at once. Just
a croc appears.
I kind of like the first way because at least you get a setting. It's like, oh, okay, this is a.
No. Yeah, but watch what happens. We don't know where we are. We don't know what this room is, but we realize that she's a witch doing witchy things.
Yeah.
And this hole appears, and something, we can barely see eyes or something on the other side of this hole, right?
Yeah.
Now, what did we just hear in the opening narration? We heard
the connection between this world and the
there's
next, right?
a wall,
Sometimes
and there's something on it. Yeah. There's right?
Okay.
And so by the time we get to the witch and by the time we turn and walk out of the room, we know what's going on. We know that something from another dimension has attacked this person who we don't know yet. And this person is struggling with it and screaming.
Okay.
Right?
So that's kind of the hook scene. It's the opening scene. It's
then
it's a ritual, witchy.
It's a satanic ritual.
Possession opener. I get it.
I wouldn't say possession. I would say more of attack.
Okay, all right. It's an attack then. But it's like, I think there has to be some possession. Otherwise, why would she go back? If she got attacked, like, why would she go back? Or
here's the thing. we do not know who she is. We don't know what this room is. She's a witch? What? Huh? So at the end of this hook scene, right?
Yeah.
We're totally in the black. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, for
right?
about half
So
a second, because you're going to start another scene, and then what?
Yeah, so we go, this is where we go through the house. We establish that it's a house. We go in the basement. We come out. We go to the street corner, right? So we see the house. So we know that it's an abandoned, boarded up house
Sure.
in an abandoned, boarded up neyborhood.
But yeah.
Yeah. And so we're there.
It's a haunted house. I mean,
yeah. Then we go to a year later. It's a year later.
Okay, this is what. Yeah. So it's usually a year later, and then now you're where? On a college campus or something?
No, what we are, we're at the house. We're on the same shot.
Okay.
Right? There's a for sale sign in front of the house. Okay. Yeah. So we stop on that for sale sign.
And is it still like in shitty condition? Like,
oh yeah, the house is about to fall apart.
All right.
And the for sale sign is old, but it's still a new sign. Then to give an indication that time has passed, there's graffiti on the for sale sign. And there's death lives here or whatever.
All right.
On the for sale sign. Damn it! I wish I had the script.
See, I kind of think you. I mean, we're already getting into editing this movie, so but that's okay because I'm learning the story and But it's
So what?
How are you going to bring
so
in
what
your
happened?
other cast and the main
So
storyline and what's the conflict? Like, what happened to the girl? Like, is she now? I don't know. I assume she's going to reappear later, but you're going to introduce another character at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, we get an indication that it's time has passed, right?
Yeah.
And this homeless person, this homeless guy, comes up to the sign, looks around, and heads into the house. Okay? He's got a place to sleep for the night, right?
Okay. So we're staying in the creep zone.
Okay. Well, we're in the creep zone. Yeah, but now...
Okay, let's just stop at this point. I want to know when are you going to bring these other characters in? Where are they from? What's their background? I mean, from what I understand, they're college kids, podcasters, you were saying. Like, are you going to have that scene?
Now, yes, and we're going to have it right now. It happens now. Okay? So we go from this homeless guy going into this house that we know.
We know that there's some shit went down there. So tell me quick.
Yeah.
Tell me quick. What happens to him? Like, he goes in and then what? He gets possessed or attacked or what?
He gets attacked. He gets eaten, and he gets killed. Yeah.
Like, like how? Tell me more about that. Like physically, like.
Yeah. Imagine that you have something in a petri dish, right? Say a piece of toast, right? Okay. And you put carbolic acid on it.
All right.
What's going to happen to that toast?
Dissolved. So he's digested. Okay, so he's vaporized or what? Like instantly this guy goes in and he's like vaporized. He's like digested. Liquefied.
Now, what is going on is we are in two places at the same time.
Okay, now wait a minute. That is interesting. What you just said about the homeless guy. A homeless guy gets liquefied. First of all, I've never seen that before. That's actually pretty interesting. Like, that could be a hook. I mean, that's actually really disgusting. Because if someone said, oh, we're gonna make a movie where a homeless guy gets liquefied by a demon.
There you go. There's your hook.
Would you pay money to see that? Right.
There's your hook. Excellent.
Well, that's well, it's your hook. It's not my hook. But because you're gonna have to pitch this, right?
This is a film about people who get liquefied by we say demon, but it's not a demon in the respect that is the devil and his minions, right? This is you or me from another dimension.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like a ghost, right? Or yeah.
You could say ghost. I say energy being, but in the script, it's just described as the being.
I guess usually they call those demonic entities, right? By a demonic entity, right?
This is a film about people who get liquefied by a demonic entity.
Yeah. All right.
There, over. That's your hook. There you go.
Okay, so that's what you want to test. Because, all right, so this is what I'm talking about. Going through and trying to distill, and develop the central idea of the movie, the central storyline, essentially. What's the main conflict? And I think we're getting there because we're trying to get people interested in that. We want them to be like, oh, I want to watch this story, or I'm hooked in, I want to know more. And they have to want it so bad. They want to see this. Okay, what is this going to look like? What is it going to sound like? How are these characters going to play out? They have to want that so bad that they're willing to pay to see it.
Great.
That's what we're doing here, because we're trying to, right? Now,
yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we're on task. Now, the thing is that as we're going along, in marketing, typically what you do, because you could get an idea and you could say, oh, well, that's good. And then, other people could say, like, oh, I don't really care, but I'll just say it's good, or oh, I got a better idea, but they won't mention it. But they'll just say, okay, that's good. Let's just go. Let's just do it. So what marketers tend to do is they do what's called split testing.
Okay.
So it's called A/B split testing. When you're developing a product or an offering, or in this case a movie or a short film or whatever, you start split testing. So you have hook number one. Okay, this is what you start with, and then you're going to pitch that, and then you're going to have hook number two. So you might have two hooks, and then you can gauge which one works better. Which one do people like better? We got this, and we got this. A or B. It's like the Coke challenge, Pepsi versus Coke. And we're going to gauge their response and interest. If 80% of the people like A, but they don't like B, chances are it's a better hook. It's a better way of presenting the story and getting the interest.
Okay.
Right? So, and you just keep it to two, because if you go, oh, let's do 3 or 5 of these, it gets very confusing. It can overwhelm people, and that's not how you want to do it. So you just want to have one. Basically, you want to have two. And the goal is obviously to come down to one, to keep refining the pitch, practicing the pitch, until you get a hook and a pitch that is working, like, consistently. And how do we know when it's working?
I don't know. How do we know when it's working?
Because they will say something to the effect of this. I'd pay money to see that.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the one where the people are like, maybe they're going to laugh. They're like, what? That's crazy. I'd pay money to see that. I'd actually pay money to see that. It's usually going to be something they've never seen before. So maybe a little outrageous, maybe a little different, maybe a little creative, something new, some new spin. But that's the goal.
Okay.
So do you understand the process that I'm trying to build and go through here?
Oh, yeah.
Give me a quick rundown. Let me know that you're on board, that we're on the same page. Tell me about this split test, the hook, and the goal.
Okay, with the split test, we're going to come up with 2 hooks.
Yep.
Okay. 2 hooks that we feel are basic and that people will be excited about, right?
Yeah.
And we'll put them out there and we'll see which one gets the best reaction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They'll probably both get a reaction. Well, they will both get a reaction. But the one with the best reaction, right, we'll go with.
Yeah.
And of course, to get to the point of the hook, using the hook, right, we have to refine it.
Yeah.
And refine it.
Yeah.
And refine it.
Okay. And how are we going to know when we have something that's going to work?
When people say, wow, I want to see that. That's new. That's interesting. Right?
Almost.
And I want to see that.
You almost got it.
Yeah?
We want people to say, wow, I would... ...
I would pay to see that.
Yes. Bam! Bam!
Yeah.
Bam! I love it. This is
Okay.
it. This is our mission. This is our goal. So this is the call to action. Now, on this podcast, we go through live, taking projects from start to finish, from concept through development, all the way to getting people to buy, monetization. And if you want to watch Jim and I work through this GoFundMe page, developing a GoFundMe page for his short film, stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe to this podcast, because in future episodes, we're going to give you updates along the way of how this all unfolds.
Okay, good deal. Except don't say short. It's a feature.
I just said it.
It's 97 minutes.
We're live. Don't say what? Don't say short?
It's not a short. It's not like a 5, 10, even 30-minute short movie. It's a 97-minute feature-length movie.
All right. So we're making a 97-minute long feature-length film. So, yes.
Yeah.
And
it's big. It's you're going to go down to your local Cineplex, and 20th Century Fox is going to be distributing it.
Yes.
Of course, that's an exaggeration, but that's an aim. That's an aim where my production company is going for, right? Not just streaming, but theatrical distribution.
Okay, nice.
That's how well we want to make this film.
So we want to go all the way with this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. Okay, well, that's great.
Yeah, and we've got...
I love that. How do you think? What do you think about this episode so far? This is episode 1 of the Firestarter Podcast with Dave Crypto and special guest Jim Woodland, and we are promoting his new exciting film, The Hole in the Wall, an exciting feature-length, 97-minute long sci-fi horror movie, and from start to finish, from concept to script to fundraising, all the way through production and distribution. But I think we made some good progress on episode 1. What do you think, Jim?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's. I like the getting the split testing done, getting the hook, how to develop the hook, and getting the person who's going to be looking at the GoFundMe page at least thinking, right? Wow, I want to know more about this. And of course, on the GoFundMe page, we will have links, right?
Yeah.
To the script and to anything that the individual who is looking at the GoFundMe page, anything that person will need in order to make a decision. After initially getting excited.
Well, that page is a part of the marketing mix that we're developing.
Yeah.
To get people, that's basically a landing page where once they go through that, they have the option of funding and contributing and paying.
Yeah, and hopefully getting their friends and their friends' friends to come on board too.
Yeah.
Because
some
of the people I've been talking to, right, are in communities of psychic horror, of demonic horror, of slasher horror, right?
Yes.
And I would like to appeal to all three.
Okay.
I think this film has that in it, so.
You're already a step ahead of me because I have two things that I wanted to talk about. We've already been talking for, this is over an hour now, I think. We started.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so we have a nice long episode. A nice long starter episode here. But hey, why not? Let's go for an hour and a half and jump in quick to next steps and what we can start doing. The first thing, there's two things I want to ask you. First of all, is number one, once I publish this episode, do you have 3 people that you can send a link to and say, hey, check it out, I was on a podcast?
Absolutely.
Okay,
sure.
Good. Nice.
I got 30 people.
Good. Okay, perfect. This is what we wanted. All right, so that's awesome. Because I've got some people too, and I'm going to splash it all over my social media. So hopefully we're going to get some views and maybe even some subscribers to the podcast.
Okay, great.
Good. Okay, so that's.
I know we will, because this is it's an exciting story. And it's got a lot of neat things in it.
For sure.
And
creepy horror. I mean, we're talking about homeless people getting dissolved by outer space entities.
It may sound awfully B movie.
It's a little B movie, but
once
horror movies tend to be a little.
Once we get into more of the story, you'll see that
it's good. Yeah, I get it, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good for sure. So that's the first thing is promoting, ongoing promotion. Every time we publish and chat, I mean, what do you think of this? Creating our meetings into podcast content. I mean, not bad, right?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
And then
this is what we need to do.
So, it's like, you're going to see it. It's like mainly you and then me in the corner. So in future episodes, we're going to upgrade the production quality so we have a side-by-side, and then we can look at materials and give updates on progress. So that's upcoming and exciting. But for the first episode, we just ran with this. This is what we could do in the time. So that's the first thing, okay? People that we can promote to. And then the next thing really is, okay, all those people, what we need to start thinking about whittling down is how many of those are going to be our super fans? How many of those people have money, spend money, and would pay? They're going to put their money down, right? We don't have to answer that right away, but this is what we have to start thinking. Who would actually support this monetarily, financially?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
would, yeah, my whole idea about this was appealing to horror fans.
For
Not
sure.
not necessarily. There is some gore in this, uh, as the suspense is ratcheted up.
Yeah.
Right, we go from a slow burn into a frenetic pace, and then all hell breaks loose.
Well, okay, the notion of genre is one maybe that we should discuss as well too. Maybe just have a quick back and forth on that, because as soon as you say horror, because I was talking about this, like I was so happy when you and I last week, basically said, let's do this. You hired me on. And I said, okay, I feel really like excited now. I'm going to put some serious effort into this thought, and we're going to create. We're going to start creating. We're going to start creating graphics and pages and plans, and we're going to execute on that. And so I started talking to my coworker about this. She did some work in film, and I said, hey, guess what? I'm working on a movie. And she said, well, you're kidding me. And she said, are you going to be in it? And I laughed, and I was like, yeah, probably.
Hey, everyone gets a part, baby. Everyone gets a part.
Something tells me I'm going to end up in this movie, right? I never thought of it before, but when she said it, I'm like, oh.
Well, we can't exactly afford Brad Pitt and all the extras, but we can't afford.
That'll be episode 2. The sequel will have Brad Pitt. But what she said, what kind of movie is it? And I said, well, it's a horror movie. She goes, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, wow. She's like, oh, I don't really like horror movies. I'm like, oh, that sucks. And then I said, but it's a science fiction horror movie too. Like it's sort of spooky sci-fi and she said, oh, okay. I don't mind sci-fi. I like sci-fi. I like mystery. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, don't worry. There's going to be something in it for you, too. But the reason why
I'd love her to read.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd love her to read the script. I'd love her to
Well, she's never going to read the script. You got to hook her. I was practicing my hook on her.
Yeah.
She tried to hook me a few times.
Well, you got it now.
It didn't work.
This should hook her about people getting dissolved by a being from another dimension.
Well, I don't think it will, because she was sort of creeped out by that. But that's the whole point. Is like, is this a horror movie? Because I'm kind of wondering, like, is this a horror movie, or is this more of a supernatural ghost, witch, like the genre? I'm not quite clear on the genre, because horror is like, it's fucking extreme. It's like usually blood, guts, like extreme.
Well, that's only
psychopaths.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's only one aspect of horror. This is also a drama, because there's romance between two of the characters.
Yeah.
Not overt romance, but it's there.
Yeah.
There is suspense, so it's a thriller. Mystery, definitely a mystery, because we hear and we get an indication of, we don't see until the end, until the third act, people getting throttled and dissolved and all this kind of stuff. But we do see shadows, if you know what I mean. We do see some aspects of this thing attacking people, right? So the mystery and the suspense is built. It's built until people start going, okay, listen, you're either going to show me this being and what it really is, or I'm walking away. I'm not seeing the rest of this movie. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Right? That's when we show it. Okay? It's just like the aliens in Close Encounter at the end. We don't see them until the end. It's just like the shark in Jaws. You don't see it until the end, kind of thing. So That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe we could call it a suspense thriller.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
As opposed to a horror.
Yeah, the horror.
Yeah.
I mean, because I gotta be honest, when I hear horror, I just chat GPT. What are the major film genres? And actually, you are right. A horror says it's intended to scare or unsettle viewers with suspense, monsters, and serious themes. Suspense monsters or the supernatural, such as The Conjuring, Hereditary. So the supernatural is the ghost and the demon and the ritual. But that all
okay. The Insidious. Okay.
So anyway,
well, it's the same thing. There's
but
no blood and guts
I
involved.
I guess I do watch some horror movies, but I don't, as in general, like. I mean, if someone says, "Hey, you want to go watch a horror movie?" I'd probably be like, not really. I don't like horror. But I didn't know that I actually do like some types. I like supernatural. I like supernatural suspense thrillers. That's what I like. So yeah, let's call it this. What do you think? A supernatural suspense thriller, or a suspense thriller? Supernatural suspense thriller.
Yes, I like supernatural suspense thriller.
You like that? Okay, good. Because my worry is that it's just going to put the horror thing might put people off. I don't know. Okay. So there you go. Now we just busted out another topic on genre, and that's more juicy content for subscribers to the Firestarter Podcast, which is fantastic. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast for future updates to see how we make progress on this project. See what I did there?
Yeah. Hey, way to go, man.
Yeah, we got to be.
Well, thanks for doing this today. I hope we got. We did. We got a lot done.
We did. I mean, this is. Right? We made content, we discussed things, and we got kind of focused, and we came up with a plan in terms of what our goal here is, right? The split test and the hook that's really going to get people, like, we got to come up with something. Like I'm telling you, there's literally 100,000 Kickstarters out there right now. And in the film category, there's probably 50,000, 10,000. So there's always competition. And so you need to have something. You get it, right? Like, it's got to be a banger. It's got to be like, okay, I would pay to see that. You know? I want to know more, right? Awesome.
Yeah. And the Kickstarter is just one aspect of getting the funding for this film. Because I'm on LinkedIn right now. And I'm talking to investors. I already pitched them with the idea, and they like it, and they want to know more. So this should help them see more. Well, so it's not just the GoFundMe, if you know what I mean.
Well, if you get a private deal, I mean, like the more power to you. Like, never say no to funding.
Yeah. I know. The only thing with private funding, right? You got to pay back all the money. If they invest $100,000, if an investor puts in $100,000, right? I would when the film makes money, I would guarantee them 110% back on their investment.
Okay.
You put in $1, you're going to get $210 back as an investor when the film makes money. Yeah. Now we're talking a whole different thing here from the GoFundMe, because for a film to make back its money could take a year, could take more.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I love that you're thinking ahead in the future and think big. I would never accuse you of thinking small. You think big, and that's good, because making movies is no small endeavor.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But it's always a challenge, right? I mean, entertainment is hard. Like, there's a lot of entertainment out there. There's a lot of free entertainment out there. There's content everywhere. People have a Netflix subscription for $10 and they have unlimited movies. So it's a challenge to get people to pay for a view, for a viewing or for a show, right? And that's really what, I mean, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to say, hey, man, like, watch this, like, support this, and you will see it first, and you will help us make it, right?
Yeah, we'll make the very best movie we can from this script.
Right on. And how are we going to do that?
You know, and I think, how are we going to do that?
Yeah. I mean,
we're going to do it by, we're going to do it by split testing, coming up with brilliant hooks. We're going to get the person who's looking at the GoFundMe page so excited that they want to see this. Wow, man, I want to see this.
I would pay money to see that.
Yeah, and right now,
but they have to be honest. Right now, I mean, they can't be like, I'd pay money to see that. They'll be like, I want. I mean, give me the fucking button. I will pay money to see that. That's really what we want. Yeah. Like, not like, you guys are nutballs. Oh yeah, I'd pay money to see that. Okay, well, here's the button. No, it's all right, bro. That's not what we want. We want someone saying like, oh, okay, shit, here's my card. I'll give you $20.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have a feeling that I know they'll, once we get more into this, they'll get more excited and it'll be great.
Bloody right.
You know?
I love it. I think we've started a fire today here, Jim.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling, I'm feeling fire.
Whatever
in my
it takes,
belly.
Whatever it takes to get this thing done, right? I'm sure once it's done, people, their expectations will go even higher than they were when they saw the GoFundMe page. I know it, because talking about a crack in the wall and something from the other side coming through and throttling people and dissolving them, just talking about that gets an image in your mind. Wait until you see it on the screen. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if people are into snuff flicks, for sure, they're going to want to see that.
This is not a snuff flick.
Well, some people are.
I know, but not for this one.
Well, that's a snuff scene. Like, if you have a homeless guy getting liquefied, that's a snuff flick. That's a snuff scene.
Yeah, but we know he's an actor, Dave. We know he's an actor.
Yeah, but
in a movie.
Yeah, but you don't get it. Like, you need a visceral response from somebody. Like, oh, yeah, I'd pay money to see that. So you have to start thinking, like, if you're going to lay that on somebody, I mean, what did you just lay on them, right? Like, you're talking about a fucking murder scene, right?
Yeah.
That's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really dark.
Yeah, that's dark.
So maybe there's some nice little girl at the writing workshop, and you're gonna say, yeah, we're gonna fucking off this homeless dude in a bathtub full of battery acids.
We're kind of getting away from.
And she's got to be pretty fucking goth, okay? If she's like, oh, that's fucking gnarly, I want to see that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The whole acid thing was just an example, but
we'll see how the I mean, when you vaporize someone, I don't know, what does that look like, right? Yeah. Okay, man. All right. We're thinking, right? We got the wheels turning. We're going to learn a lot on this adventure. I can tell already. I can feel it already. Really. Because I pitched a bunch of stuff. I pitched stuff online. I pitched coins. I pitched, many different projects and web projects, promotions, services. But movies, I'm somewhat new to this. So, I'm trying to wrap my head around it, How does this all work?
Well, it's there's, in my opinion, there's no difference between marketing and distributing a film and marketing and distributing your crypto.
Okay.
A lot of people have crypto. A lot of people make movies. Yeah. Yes, Netflix has a lot of movies, but let me tell you, they need a lot of movies too.
Well, they're different people, though. I mean, crypto people.
I know, but there's
crypto people are
streamers.
But a person that's like a fan in a movie and
Oh, you got to watch your audio, buddy. Watch your audio.
You can't hear me? Hang on.
Yeah, now I can hear you. You zoomed out there for a sec. But one of the big myths about streaming is that what do they need new material? What do they need a lot of new material for when a year ago they bought 1,000 films? They got 1,000 films, 1,000 films on their streaming, right?
Yes.
Why go out and get 1,000 new films? Why?
Well, yeah, people binge watch and they always want something new.
People binge watch, and let me tell you, people will watch something once or twice, right?
Yeah.
Then it's gone. How many times do you think people are going to watch something? Which is why they constantly need material.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So we do this film. We do this film. We get it done. Yeah. And it's good enough, at least, to put on a streaming service. I mean, quality-wise, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be sold. It's going to be sold. That's a given, because they need material. The only
let's not get too far into that right now. Let's just stop this. I'm going to stop recording. But let's just sign off, say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for, if you've listened this far, thanks a lot for tuning in to episode 1, Firestarter. My guest, Jim Woodland, Dave Crypto here. We're talking about new promotion of The Hole in the Wall, a suspense thriller movie that we are raising money for and developing in real time. So like, share, and subscribe if you like this content for more, and stay tuned for updates.
Thanks. Okay, thanks for having me here, Dave.
No problem, Jim. It's great talking to you. I'm just going to, bye, everybody.